All right, this is Menace. I'm here with Penn from Barb Wire Dolls, and we are at the Warp Tour in Dallas, Texas, at the Starplex Pavillion, and it is a grueling hot day today. Penn, tell me, how was your performance today? What do you think? How was the crowd reaction?
Today was probably one of the best performances on tour we've had on Vans Warp Tour. I don't know what it was, but we were the amphitheater, and so it's very hot out here in Dallas, so a lot of people came inside, and we had like 30, 40 of the band members on Warp Tour watching us too, which is really awesome to get that respect. And it was just an epic show. I mean, in 25 minutes, it was just power packed, and that was what I believe rock and roll should be. And that was it. It was just a bomb went off in 25 minutes, just slowly, just got everybody screaming by the end. So it was great.
Nice, that's awesome. Well, for the uninitiated, why don't you tell us how Barb Wire Dolls came to be?
Yeah, Barb Wire Dolls are very kind of weird and unique in a way. We started in Greece. We're Greek, from Greece. We started in an artist commune on the island of Crete called the Icarus, and there were a lot of artists there and stuff, musicians, painters, writers, everything. And we were just disgusted with the punk scene. We have no connection to what's happened in the last 20 years. We were bored. And so the singer and Isis Queen, said, why don't we just start a band? You know, instead of complaining about it, let's start our own band and try to make it how we liked it. Because we liked the first wave of punk, from the Ramones to the Sex Pistols, the Clash, you know, the Slits, you know, and things like that. We weren't interested in what punk had become. You know, we loved Zeppelin and AC/DC and the Beatles, and everything that punk stood for was bubblegum pop. It was crap. And so we started our own band. Instead of complaining about it, we started our own band. And it was great, but there was nowhere to play. We couldn't play. Nobody would book us in Greece because they're afraid of punk, because punk usually means anarchists. And I'm not saying we're not anarchists, but the point is that we couldn't get a show. So we ended up finally convincing a club in Athens, Greece, to put us on Sundays for free shows. And we created our own scene for 6 months, every Sunday with 5 bands, free shows. And it was packed, and it was just crazy. And somehow through MySpace, Rodney Bingenheimer, this legendary DJ from Rodney and the Rock on K-Rock in LA, I don't know how he discovered us through MySpace. We had like 200 fans. Found us and asked us to send us our demo, so we did. He started playing it nonstop and invited us to America to play Los Angeles for our K-Rock shows. So we said, fuck it, we'll do everything. We'll sell everything we went. What else are we going to do? So we went, and the first night we met with him, he told us, oh, it's going to be postponed till February, like 3 months later, and we were like, what? But we ended up meeting Lemmy that night, and meeting Lemmy from Motorhead was a very important thing for us 5 years later down the road. Long story short, we ended up selling out the Roxy Theater in our first show, and we played all over the world. We released an album called Slit. We recorded with Steve Albini, who's done Nirvana's In Utero and Stooges and Zeppelin people. And it got voted by 10 magazines the best punk album in 20 years. So we just toured 850 shows around the world, headlining shows, 25 countries. You know,
That's intense, man.
it was intense. I mean, nobody would have us open up. NoFX asked us to open up for them. After the second show, they told us, you can't play with us. You're too good. You're stealing our thunder. And we told them, you're a pussy, Fat Mike. And we're still friends with him, but he was like, wow. So he offered us a deal. We said, no thanks, because we don't like that type of music, really. But we like some of the bands on his label, like Bad Cop, they're awesome, and Get Dead. And anyway, long story short, Lemmy saw us in 2015 at the Whiskey A Go Go. We headlined there all the time. And he asked us if we would like to be on Motorhead Music. He wants to start a label. And we were like, yes, immediately. Like, we didn't even hesitate. We'd been a DIY band for 5 years. You know, and in a DIY world, selling over 30,000 copies is a lot.
Yeah,
so it's
monumental.
pretty big. It's pretty big. And a lot of labels wanted us. Universal wanted us. You know, Warner wanted us. But they all told us to change, to be more pop. And we kept saying, no, we're not interested. So when Lemmy said that, we just said yes. And he said, first thing he said is, don't change for anyone. And we were like, yes, thank you. And then he said, you know, give 110%. He gave us some advice. And that was it, you know. And we started recording the album. And it was before it came out, he passed away. So it was really, you know, sad that he passed away. But, it will be forever the highest honor in our world to be chosen, handpicked by Lemmy to carry the torch. He told us, "You're the legacy. Please carry it on." And we're not like Motorhead, obviously. We have sound nothing like Motorhead. We're girl-fronted, and we got 3 girls in the band. But the point is that he loved punk. He loved the Pistols and the Damned and everybody, and he saw something in there that he liked, and thank goodness, he's watching over us wherever we go, and so we thank Lemmy more than anything.
Man, that's an amazing testimony to making it happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, who would have thought? I mean, every day we're struggling in a sense, but we just believe in rock and roll. And when Lemmy says, "Don't stop," you do it. And we have no other option but to do it. I mean, we've got an obligation now to uphold.
That's
it's an
awesome,
honor.
man. Yeah, that most definitely an honor. Well, with that being said, what's your next project? What do you got going on?
Well, just today we just released our new album, our 3rd album, called "Rub My Mind," and it's a departure from our normal sound. It's a little more melodic. It's got, harmonies, and it's a really nice album. It's beautiful, but it was recorded in the desert at Rancho de la Luna, which is this legendary studio in Joshua Tree Desert, where Caius and Queens of the Stone Age all lived and started, and Eagles of Death Metal, obviously. And we were invited by the guitarist of Eagles of Death Metal to record there the night of Bataclan Paris attacks. So he wanted us to write music that represented how the world was at that moment. And so the album is very melancholic, very sad and brooding. And our singer was suicidal at 14, and so she's overcome that. And so a lot of it has to do with overcoming your fears and your self-pity and stuff, and activating your own thunder. And so the album is a very positive album, even though it's set in a very somber movement, being in the desert right after the Paris attacks. But we're really proud of it, and we really love it, and excited to start playing it soon.
Well, for anybody that's listening, where can they go to go find that? Obviously,
The CD and vinyl are out today worldwide, but most of the digital outfits have not shown up yet.
okay.
But I think Spotify's up, but iTunes and Apple Music will show up in the next days. So, yeah, it was rushed to get out because we were doing Warped Tour, and so
Yeah.
why not just get it out? So
Get it out there.
Yeah, but you can find videos on YouTube. Our first single, "Back in USSA," is kind of a big middle finger to Trump and to what's going on politically, but it's mainly power to the people. It's not really against anything. It's more about power to the people. Whether all the politicians are greedy, no matter what, but it's okay. Stop creating division and create unity, and just start creating a voice in yourself to overcome your own situation. No one's going to stop you if you help yourself.
That's a hell of a message right there.
Thank you.
We could go on forever
Yeah.
about that. Well, Penn, I want to thank you for meeting with me today, and you be safe and stay hydrated. Enjoy the rest of Warped Tour, okay?
Yeah, and we're looking forward to seeing Insane Clown Posse soon.
Alrighty, man.
Thank you very
Have a
much.
good one.
Peace.